today, you are going to have to determine all of the important questions.
This is a crime scene.
Look at this. This looks to be a blood spatter.
A mock one for law students around the state, with evidence.
There's a charger up there.
Witnesses.
I never liked him.
And a complex storyline.
And they're going to try to piece together what happened to determine the who, what, where, when, why of this murder.
Chrissy Madjar directed this scene.
Why is our client, Kieran Phillips, innocent of this crime?
She's an attorney who works with the Kentucky Innocence Project, a statewide resource to combat wrongful convictions. How big of a problem do you think it is?
Currently, the Kentucky Innocence Project gets between 30 and 60 applications a month.
With limited resources, only a fraction of cases get their help, and the need for help around the country is magnified. Experts estimate 2 to 6% of people who have been convicted are wrongly convicted. That's up to around 1,600 people in Kentucky and around 87,000 people nationwide who may be innocent behind bars. How are you going to manage these cases if the incarcerated population just keeps growing?
That's a hurdle that we are trying to deal with now.
And with this exercise,
I don't think it's a robbery.
she's also dealing with how to prevent wrongful convictions in the first place.
We have to be very critical at each step, starting from the crime scene, kind of like what we're doing today.
This is just one piece of this mock crime scene. Students have to be critical, examining how this body is positioned to figure out how he died. And evidence is scattered around this barn. The challenge, resisting the natural urge to make assumptions, a primary contributor to wrongful convictions.
And we need to understand what our personal biases are.
What are some of the biases that we all have that are dangerous to our criminal justice system?
One of the biases is that if an individual is arrested, they must be guilty. Another bias is that if an individual does not testify at their own trial, then they must be hiding something.
How does racism play a role?
Racism is very prevalent in wrongful convictions. National
data shows innocent Black people are 7 times more likely to be wrongly convicted of murder than innocent white people. It also takes significantly longer to exonerate them.
It's horrible.
It's the reason Bianca Rudnick, a single mother, sacrificed sleep for law school.
And trying to do law school during COVID with a kid at home is wild.
And why John Heyman, motivated by a childhood friend who was wrongly convicted, applied to law school last year.
Just to help those that need someone in their corner.
Since 1992, the National Registry of Exonerees says 23 people in Kentucky have been exonerated due to wrongful convictions. Their total time behind bars, 214 years.
I believe that there's a lot of injustice in the world.
There are likely so many others, she says, who need help and will never get it.
Because of police misconduct or prosecutorial misconduct, or an attorney that did not bother to look at certain pieces of evidence or interview witnesses. We can all do better.
And she calls this exercise a hopeful step toward greater justice.
You have to develop your theory of innocence.
The goal of the entire exercise, keeping an open mind and not giving in to confirmation bias. That happens when we put greater weight on new evidence that coincides with our existing beliefs. In studio, Paula Vasan, WHAS 11 on your side.